But I really did care about this bro. It wasn't like I really did care about it. It's just him I didn't like. And he made me not like him.
What's your problem? Don't even go there.
He made me not like him. He reaped that crop. Like I told Biggin the other day. He was whining and I said, no, actually you just reap what you sowed. You sowed seeds of hate and they cropped out. I gave you back everything you gave. That's the way it happened. I'm gonna get off of it. I want my whole stream to be like that. Plus, I'm talking calm anyway, so I'm not shouting. I'm not. To be honest, I'm tired of reacting to the narcissists because that's what they do. They get you to irrationally react, and then they say you're the bad. Just telling my story here. Like even that harassment with this guy trying to pretend like he was some kind. I wouldn't have cared if he had been held. He'd stepped foot on my property. That's what would have happened. We'd called the police. He'd been arrested for trespassing. I don't live my life in fear of those people anyway. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. They used to talk big to ISIS. Why am I gonna worry about a Hell's Angel? I used to talk. You know how I used to talk to them on my blogs and stuff. ISIS. Now I should have been smarter than that because I was young though. You know what I'm saying? I was only in my late 20s, early 30s back then. Young. You know that little talking point that Marjorie and all of them was going on about? I was saying it on my podcast first about the cartel, about what they needed to do to them. I didn't hear nobody else saying that until I said it. That don't mean they weren't saying it. That just means I didn't hear it. I didn't hear many because it's not smart to say stuff like that. But I mean, realistically, them people is what's done this to our country. They smuggled all these drugs and illegals in here. You can't live your life on your knees. Man, evil man's gonna do what evil man's gonna do. You just have to stand tall. Evil men's gonna do what evil men's gonna do. I'll say that again. The only thing I've ever been guilty of is cursing the darkness. That's the only thing I've ever been guilty of. Cursing the darkness. Open up your Bible and see how many times God tells you to fear not. And the fact that they bend over backwards trying to get me to bend makes me more determined not to bend. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, those two fat things have tried their damnedest to scare me. I'm not taking a knee to you. Evil men will just have to do what evil man does. I'll leave it in the hands of God. Now, I'm not going to be like Jesus. Don't hold it up against them, Lord. You hold it against them. I don't have the flock to keep. Hold it against them. That was your flock. You had to die for your flock. I didn't have to die for the flock. That wasn't my calling. Hold it against them, Lord. Hold any of those signs against them when you bring judgment on those that bother your people. Any of the signs. Any of those good signs, Lord. Especially if it had nothing to do with your kingdom. Oh, if it had something to do with your kingdom, I'd be glad to accept that. But now, if it's not anything to do with your kingdom, why don't you hold it against them? This jealousy and stuff has nothing to do with your kingdom. Unless it does, like maybe they see some kind of blessing in me that you gave them and they're jealous of it. Then it might have something to do with your kingdom. Evil man's gonna do what evil man's gonna do. You can't live your life on your knees because of evil men, because they're all over. They're your next door neighbor. Sometimes there's been people that's been neighbors to very horrendous people. BTK, he lived in a neighborhood. Sometimes they're your neighbor.
You piece of shit.
I grew up with that reality, by the way. That's a reality I learned as a child by hearing about what happened to my uncle.
Goodness.
They claim to be friends. They claim to be friends.
Shit.
You know the lesson I got to that? There's no true friends in this world. If there is, you better keep them. If you got them, you better keep them. I always say that. If you got them, you better keep them. Because they're rare and hard to come by.
Wow.
I just didn't have my father's witness as not living in fear because the Bible tells you so. Even when the angels would approach people, they'd tell them to fear not.
Hey, man. Hi.
I'm going to keep focusing on building me and not worry about you people. Growing my channels. Try to get more pro at it. I've been failing at that one. I do a little better when I get out all my tools, like my monitor. Today, even the mic. I can usually get the mic out. You know what they hate about me the most? I actually tried to achieve my dream. Now, I didn't achieve it, but I tried. Most people won't even try. They're too scared to try. Like they'll sit back and say, I want to make music, and they'll never try to make music. They'll always wait on somebody to discover them or something. I didn't sit and wait on nobody to discover them. The only reason I didn't do it sooner is I didn't think about it. Some girl told me on AOL one time, why don't you try to put it out yourself? Next thing you know, I was researching. I found out about CD Baby. I'm not sure all those others were out there back then. And I started going for my dream. Most people don't have that kind of gumption. They're so afraid they're going to fail. I took the little success as a success. I was thankful for the little successes. Every time I got a little notation on the chart, I appreciated it. Every time somebody bought one of my tracks, in the beginning, they would sell. It was in England. It was mostly in London, Europe, the UK. I celebrated that. I celebrated my little victories. I just didn't chuck it and say this didn't work, and throw it away and quit. I didn't quit. Still going. Still trying to get better as a producer, mixer, and all that stuff. Think I'm better than ever. And when you hear the new one, you're going to know what I'm talking about. It's the best I've done. I'm 7 songs in, I think. Still got to record the last 3. Then I'm going to put the guest rid of my Saints. Working on that project as well. By the way, that's just not generating AI. That's actually generating the AI and then remixing it. Putting my own effects in there, etc. Might have to find somewhere else to be, though, because that's another story.
Love your ride, hon. Oh, I'm done raising that little.
I go over there and finish my website. That's for dang sure. I'm gonna build a page over on Rock and Roll Hunter. May even build my podcast page there too. I might make it an in with Rock and Roll Hunter and phase them to get back together like they were in the beginning. So I have a pro page for them, and not with a Wix advertise on it. I'm okay with the Wix sites. They're pretty neat. They're pretty, but they got that big. They make you have to have that big old bar at the top of it. I don't like that. I don't know why they just didn't put some like made with Wix in the corner or something. Or they didn't abstract your website.
Yeah, sure. I had a great time too.
Put that big ugly old white bar top of your page. I think the newer ones don't have that, but mine are old. I don't even know how to make sites on there anymore. I've tried. I don't know how to build them. That AI it fucks up. I don't know how to build that. That ain't why I moved. I wanted my own music. Because they're starting to get hardcore. Especially me being a hybrid artist, where I'm part AI, part human. These sites are getting picky about that shit, so I wanted my own platform so I could drop my own songs if I had to. Not even have them on the networks if I had to. I wanted my own, I wanted independent. So I built my own website, and that's what I was looking for. Wix is too high. You could do it on Wix. They're too high.
Dear God, I don't believe it. How rude.
I saw all this stuff happening with all these places like Spotify. Of course, Spotify, I've noticed something. They're only doing it on